Good morning, good people. I'm coming on real quick to do a video because I just mentioned this topic over inside my women's group inside of Godly Girls. And it's a theme that is prevalent this week with clients. So I want to address this because it's kind of been on my heart now for a while. But, I don't always say everything too quickly because my mouth can get me in trouble, right? And so, so I'm coming on this morning real quick. I haven't been doing a lot of videos because I've just been so busy. And when I get busy, I fall off on my social media and my videos because I just simply don't have time. But this week, I want to, in this video, address something that's kind of been on my mind for a while, but also something that's come up a lot with clients this week. So for any clients that end up watching this video, do understand I'm not talking about you specifically if I use something similar to your situation. But in general, it's not just one person. It's a lot of women, a lot of situations, a lot of people. And so I want to address it because I see it week after week, month after month, year after year, that what I'm really doing in my work with women is helping to set them free, because I deal with a lot of women of faith, a lot of Christian women. And at the end of the day, we do something that is very self-defeating and very sabotaging in our dating and our relationships. What do you mean, Rebecca? So there's this whole movement. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, good morning, good morning. There's this movement that's been going on now for several years that is brought in and ushered in, a lot of profit off of women of faith. A lot of, people saying what they want to hear. People using their own story to write books and do different things but it's almost kind of like this is the blueprint for success for Christian women. And so you've got The Wait, and you've got Heather Lindsay with the Pinky Promise, and you've got, Derek Jackson with his version of relationship expert guru stuff. And, if you find a real man's this, a real man's that, all this stuff. And so you've got pastors now in the singles conferences, and you've got whole organizations created around becoming a wife and learning to be a wife. But if you notice the gap, where there's a huge gap in all of this is, where are the men? Where are the men? Okay, where are the men signing up for this stuff? Where are the men signing up to wait? Where are the men signing up to give a pinky promise? Where are the men giving their true and honest input? No, it's for profit. That's what I want some people to understand, some women to understand this morning. This stuff is for profit. And I said it earlier this week inside my group. I said, and how much of this stuff is really getting results? How many of you that have read The Wait and attended all the conferences and got empowered and kumbaya and we got this and let's go on another retreat and let's go on another conference and let's buy another book and let's do another workshop and let's do all this stuff. But how many of you are actually getting any results from that? It's like such a small percentage based on all this stuff that is literally using women of faith as a demographic to push their agenda to and push their business to, even the pastors, even the churches, all of it. I really want you to hear me. And so at the end of the day, women get sucked in. Oh, where's my Boaz? I'm waiting on my Boaz. And then that author comes out with another book, and now you're trying to do what they're saying to do now, but they're just selling you their newest thing. Right? And then you jump over to someone else when somebody else refers you to someone else that says, oh yeah, he's the bomb. He's great. He's really telling it. And he throws a couple little curse words in his video and he's keeping it real. He's keeping it real because this is what real men would do. And if I see the books, I see the videos, I see everything. And I'm sitting over here and I'm like, but who's getting married? Who's in a relationship? Who's happy? right? Because in other words, women are being conditioned and programmed. And I did another post in my group. I think I've been working up towards this video for a little while, because I did another post and I said, if I was a single woman, I'm married, but if I was a single woman, I would be on information overload at this point. I would just be ready to chuck it all. I would just be ready to just be like, I give up. I don't even, because there's so many different voices and different advice and different books and articles and opinions. And one person says this, and do you notice that hardly any of it is coming from married people? I mean, be really, really honest. There's hardly anybody talking about dating for single people of faith. It's all these single people trying to give advice on how to be in a relationship. And then the married people don't really relate well to dating because they're married or they've been married so long that then their advice is all focused on waiting to be married. So their advice is on how to prepare for marriage. But what about the in-between time? What do you do while you're waiting? This has always been my question and my frustration with the whole wait movement, right? What do you do while you're waiting? Because you can't just be sitting on your couch. You can't just be sitting around. And one of the things I want to address in this video really quickly, 2 things that just drive me nuts and are keeping women single, women of faith. You think because of the scripture that says, he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord. Listen, in that scripture, find doesn't mean he's coming to find you and you can just be sitting down chilling. You don't have to be positioned. You don't need to be on online dating's not a God. Women of God should not be on an online dating app. But you're on Facebook. Facebook is one of the biggest dating connections in the world. You're on Instagram. It's no different. It's technology. And so there's all these different voices trying to tell women of God what to do, what not to do. And at the end of the day, the biggest thing they don't deal with, that they should be dealing with, is women's healing and spiritual and emotional well-being. Honey, God is the best matchmaker that ever existed. And if you just keep trying to be empowered and feel better and feel good about where you're at, but you keep ignoring your pain, your issues, your bad attitude, your controlling nature, then you're not going to be attracting love. Love. Because what is it? It's easier to try to make you feel good with some band-aids to say, do this and you're going to get married. Do this and you're going, because I deal with it every day. Women call me, Rebecca, I just don't know. I just want to date. And as I'm listening to her and I'm discerning and my spirit is picking up on the pain and the craziness and the stuff that she's hiding. And I'm saying, nah, boo, I'm not going to work with you just to date. I'm not going to work with you just to learn how to get out here and meet men and get more hurt. More hurt, because it's going to be adding insult to injury because you haven't changed and you're going to be attracting the same old mess that you always have. I've just now made you a beast at dating to reach more people, to get to more men. So I've now made the situation worse if I do that. Nah, but do you know how many people I work with that are not patient with that process? Oh no, I don't need to work on me. I'm good. No, you're not. You're not good. And you keep reading all these books if you apply this process. But the one thing you don't do is get still and listen to God and be guided into what God is trying to do in your life. Because it's all connected, boo. It's all connected. You can't ignore the pain and the toxic relationships and the breakups and the divorce and the heartbreak. And you can't ignore the abuse from your childhood. You can't ignore the things that you internalize from all of the verbal abuse and emotional abuse. And so you'll turn around and you'll say, well, no, I'm fine. And one of the things that's one of the biggest frustrations for me is I feel people's pain. I'm so discerning and spiritual. I feel your pain. I'll know your pain before you even want to admit it to me. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're still in denial. If you don't want to admit that you've got some issues and admit that you need to work on you, honey, you could be out here dating all you want, but you're going to keep attracting the wrong stuff. So guess what? Heather Lindsay's story is not your story. Rebecca Lynn Pope's story is not your story. Sarita Jakes, Sarah Jakes, that's not your story. First of all, you're talking about women who are married to pastors. I'll raise my hand. But yet you'll hear women describe and talk about what it's got to be, what it can't be, and they're over-spiritualizing everything. At the end of the day, you're a woman and your husband's going to be a man, a woman and a man. It don't matter about his titles. It doesn't matter about what you guys do. It's a woman and a man. And so, but then you're comparing yourself and your situation and your life, but you'll steadily be comparing what Heather Lindsay and Sarah Jake say, but they're married to pastors. But at the end of the day, when I turn around, I ask you, well, do you want to be married to a pastor? Because what you're describing in what he's supposed to be and what he has to be is a pastor. Women are they don't get it. If you're talking about a man who's waking up from the moment he wakes up in the morning and he's praying until the sun goes down and he's quoting scriptures and he's got such a heart for God and he's on fire for God and he's praying with you and he's praying with other people and he's got that fire for God in his heart, he's going to be a minister. A man that is that on fire for God and is that anointed the way you're describing how you want your man to be and the man that God has for you, he's a minister in some form or fashion. He's in ministry, boo. And so that you're stepping back and you're like, oh, I don't want a pastor. I can't be with no, I'm not trying to be with a pastor, but he has to have a heart for God. He's got to have a heart for God. Do you understand how conflicting that is? You don't understand that the average man is just living his life. He's going to pray occasionally. He's going to go to God occasionally. He may get still, in order to cultivate peace if he's learned how to meditate. But he's living his life. He's about his money, about his family. He's growing his business. Whatever it is, he's about his hobbies. He's trying to travel to the next destination just like you. He's just like you. If you're not a pastor or trying to be a pastor or being a minister, then stop expecting men to be all up in the clouds, honey, so heaven bound that you're no earthly good. I mean, that's the real talk. You can't live in the clouds. So I'm going to give you some real examples. Here's what I hear all the time. God told me he's my husband. Talking about a man. I hear it all the time. God told me he's my husband. Well, if God ain't told him that he's your husband, that ain't your husband. Because last time I checked, boo, a man's got to put a ring on your finger. You can't put a ring on his finger. So what good is God telling you that's your husband and he don't know? He ain't pursuing you. He has no interest in you. He's not your husband. And I hear it over and over. You're caught up. No, what you've done is you have said you want him, or you're very, very scary about your options and how many men. So the first man you meet that seems to be an eligible, saved or Christian man, you're like, he's my husband. And you got to put God in it so that everything you do after that then sounds logical. That you literally don't see other people. You start doing things he's not even asking you to do because God told you he's your husband. Nah, boo. If God ain't told him, because here's where it's over-spiritualized. At the end of the day, that's a man. Men go after what they want. If he really liked you like that, he's going to come after you. He's going to pursue you. He's going to be calling you. He's going to be texting you. He's going to be trying to take you on dates. But what women do is they'll set their eyes on something they want, Christian women. They over-spiritualize the whole process. Forget that it's gotta be mutual. There's gonna be, men are just men. My husband's an apostle, but he's just a man. I didn't marry Apostle Carrie Pope. I married Carrie. Why? Because Carrie and Rebecca met each other and were crazy about each other. From the first date, when we seen each other again, when we seen each other again, when we seen each other again. And that happened, that process over and over and over again until 16 months after meeting, we were married. We struggled keeping our hands off of each other. This is the stuff nobody wants to talk about. We're so caught up. The weight. Honey, you'll find yourself in a deadless, sexless, unsexy, unintimate marriage. If you think that while you're dating, that man's going to be over here like, Lord, wherefore art thou? I must stay strong. Honey, boo, listen, a man who wants to put a ring on your finger is going to he's going to have the hardest time keeping his hands off you. He's going to be absolutely crazy about you. You're going to be feeling like, dang, I used to say about Carrie, how many hands do you got? Dude, 6 months before we got married, I'm trying so hard to be strong. I tell him, he was like, I just feel like we're just friends. You don't even kiss me anymore. Because kissing turns into everything. Like, where did our clothes go? From one kiss, fireworks, where did our clothes go? Oh my God. Because we're in love. We're crazy about each other. Chemistry off the charts. Everything that you're truly wanting in a relationship and in your marriage, it doesn't happen just from the moment you say, I do. So unless you're dating, but my husband's a real man. I don't know about all these other pastors, these people talking about they dated for 3 years and were abstinent. What? How old are you? I don't know any of these people. Either A, they're lying, or B, somebody's gay, or C, they just don't like each other like that. And they're faking and fronting for the cameras, the books, something. Because human nature, God made us as sexual beings. We are naturally sexual. And one of the things that just kills me about this Christian dating movement, Christian waiting movement, is that you're repressing your sexuality. I had a woman when I spoke last Sunday at a church, she came up to me. She said, I cut off a man because he messaged and said he wanted me to come over to cuddle. Yeah, boo. If he really likes you, it's not like they're not going to try you. And it doesn't even mean they're not going to marry you. He just really likes you. So yes, he's going to try to touch you. Yes, he's going to be trying to have you booed up. And it still doesn't even mean that they're not going to marry you. But it's up to you to hold those standards, and it should be hard for you. Don't repress your sexuality to the point that it's non-existent, because you're not going to have a happy marriage. Do you know how many people are in my husband's counseling, premarital counseling, and marriage counseling, whose literally their sex lives are jacked up? See, people don't talk about the end result of all of this sexual repression, because people think I'm waiting to get married. I'm waiting to get married. But you can be so good at repressing your sexuality that you get married and now you don't know how to be sexual. Now you're so uncomfortable with your own body and your own sexuality, you can't even be a good husband or be a good wife, because you're literally so caught up in not doing it. It's been off limits for so long that you don't even know how to enjoy it. You don't even know how to express and communicate to your husband what you like and what you don't like. You're struggling, boo. You're struggling because everything out here has conditioned you and programmed you to deny your own human desire, your own natural. God made you this way. God made us sexual. Do you think it's just, when the moment you say I do, now I become sexual? That's not how human behavior works. So at the end of the day, listen, when you meet a man, you're going to like him. It's basic. You're going to like him. He's going to like you. Wow, we have some things in common. We enjoy doing some things together. We laugh and have fun doing the silliest, simplest things. We have a great time. Wow, I think I could see myself really enjoying being around you more. Oh, we start dating a little more because we're enjoying it so much. Oh, man, dang, no one's understood me the way she does. No one has got me the way he does. This is really going somewhere. I'm really enjoying this. But you're enjoying the process. It's not even about just a ring and getting married, because you have made a new friend and you're falling in love. And now you're growing together and it just naturally progresses, right? I'm not saying do that for years. I'm just saying enjoy getting to know people. Enjoy the process of dating. That's the point of dating. And you're still abstinent while you're doing that. And when you meet someone, it's good, the right one, this is when it challenges your abstinence, because you're going to really, really like them. It's easy to be abstinent when you don't like nobody. Real talk. It's real easy. You don't even like anyone and you're saying, I'm abstinent, I'm abstinent. Let me see you be abstinent when you really like someone, which is why most Christian women don't know how to date, because you're not spiritually mature enough. You're screaming abstinence and celibacy, but you're not even putting it to the test, because you're not even meeting anyone. You're on the bench. You're not even in the game. So you don't even date because you're is this a red flag? Is that, if you do happen to meet someone, you're like, oh no, I don't know. What do you think? And you're overanalyzing because you only met one person and you're already like overanalyzing it, getting too deep with it so quick, because psychologically there's a subconscious belief there's not enough men because you're not dating. You're not on the dating site. You're not putting yourself in situations to be positioned to meet men. So there's the real, true, real life aspect of you don't know how to date. You don't know how to truly be celibate or be abstinent if you're really put to the test, which is why dating makes you so nervous, because you don't know how to be mature in putting boundaries in place and adhering to it. Because what most Christians lack is true discipline. We're force-fed and baby-fed all this knowledge and stuff constantly, but never learn how to walk out our own salvation, our own Christian walk, our own spirituality, to develop relationship with God, to be guided on our own, to where God is speaking to you personally, to guide you in your life. So yes, God, that's what God said to Heather Lindsay, and they didn't kiss, even the first kiss, until they got married. That was her story. That's how God guided them. What is God saying to you? Because you're not Heather Lindsay. You're not Rebecca Lynn Pope. You're not Sarah Jakes. And last time I checked, you need to be checking all this information and advice you get from these single dudes looking so fine, but perpetually single. Why, if he's got so much great advice for so long, why hasn't he married someone? Why hasn't he put a ring on somebody's finger? But you steadily taking advice from the dude peddling stuff, just trying to sell you books and t-shirts and the latest fix because he's fine. And you secretly looking at him like, oh, I wish I could have him. I don't even watch people's videos, but this one little snippet of a video came up and he was talking about, don't worry about those men that you don't want because they're probably, I can't even say what he said. Never mind. I can't even go there because y'all have me like the first lady over here said the bad words. I get in trouble all the time, but I just like to keep it real because y'all sitting here following these fine dudes who've been single for years, and some of them are great. Some of my friends. Stefan, I love Stefan. That's my friend. But some of these dudes are giving you the most basic information. You could go do a Google search, read an article, and come back on and do a video. And if you throw enough little curse words in there with the stuff you're saying and saying it with like, girl, you know, and a real man. If you say all that along with the little few things you Googled, you sounding like you saying something. But what's really being said? All it's doing is backing you into a corner where don't nobody wants you, and you're not dating anybody because these so-called dudes that they got you convinced are waiting on you or looking for you ain't really looking for you, boo. They're not. And they're not going to come up in your house and find you. I'm just saying. Stop over-spiritualizing dating and relationships. Stop So the whole thing that I came on to say today is all this stuff that's got you positioned to be this wonderful woman waiting on marriage. Men aren't doing that. Where are all these so-called men that are waiting? Where are all these men that are so spiritual and so deep? And they're following their purpose. You ever hear men talking about following their purpose? Think about it. This whole purpose movement, weight movement, all this stuff. Do you ever hear men talking about, I'm just waiting. Oh, I'm following my purpose path. You don't hear men talking about that? Why? Because they're just living their life. Whatever they're interested in, And I'm not saying they're not spiritual. They pray, but most men don't go to church. That's why the churches are full of women. I know there's some churches with men. People love to take everything I say and act like I'm saying everybody. But mostly the churches are full of women. They're not full of men. Men go to church because women make them when you marry them. Now you make him go to church because women make men great, make them better. We're always trying to improve everything, right? That's what we do. So you're always trying to make your family better, your men better, all that. So men be listening to you like, okay, baby, we need to go to church. But he wasn't going to church before he met you. That's why the churches are full of women. Full of women, not men. Women are the gurus of self-help. We are the poster child for self-development, self-help. What men do, they'll go buy a book about business. They'll go buy a book about money. They'll go buy a book like, wait, is purpose related to my end game? Is purpose related to me making some money or launching this business? Okay, I'll buy that book. But they're not going to workshops. They're not going to conferences, just sitting around talking about it. They will have a private message with someone, or they'll hire a business coach. They'll do stuff on their own. But they're not coming in groups to a bunch of different stuff. Why? Because they're not built like that. They're not. We're the ones eating it or drinking the Kool-Aid. So in the meantime, this so-called men that you're waiting for or preparing yourself for, where are they? That's my question. I'm just asking, where are for as many millions of women who are buying into all this stuff, buying these books, attending the conferences, over-spiritualizing everything. I'm waiting on my Boaz. How many Boazes are there? And first of all, I already talked about Boaz, right? But the other thing, this is what prompted this video, is I saw this meme and this girl posted in my group and she said, it's this little picture of this woman and a man pulling this woman up the stairs or holding her hand, and it's saying, he's going to find you and he's going to lead you. She was like, where are we going? He's like, well, I found you. Now I'm going to lead you. Like it creates, so this stuff creates such false expectations. Because at the end of the day, it's like he's got to find you. Now he's got to lead you. It's like, that's not how relationships work. It's just like being best friends. Half the time you're helping them to be better, and half the time they're helping you to be better. And you're making decisions together about how to live life and the best decisions to make as a unit. It's not like, oh, you're just following a man and he's this great leader and you follow the man. That's not how relationships work. Who writes this stuff? It's from single people, single women who have drank the Kool-Aid, have no clue of what real relationship, real marriage, and faith-filled, saved Christian marriage. Man, look, my husband and I are sexual. We have sex often. Why? Because we're attracted to each other. We're not sitting up in the cloud praying when we first wake up in the morning, God, bless this marriage. No, we know we blessed. We're not sitting around praying to be blessed. We wake up, hey baby, hey good morning, maybe have sex, maybe not. Carrie gets me some coffee. He goes to his office, I go to mine. We meet back up, we talk about some new directions or some ideas. We get back to, we go back to work. We can see each other later on. That night we watch some movies, we have some more sex, and we go to bed. I'm just saying. And we're anointed and gifted, but we are in love. And that's a normal, healthy relationship. We have sex, we make money together, we help people, and we change lives. We love our businesses. And I think that our life is I think that my life with my husband is pretty much dream life for what a lot of people want. We own several companies. We make good money. We are attracted to each other. We're in love. We're best friends. I think like this is what a lot of people are working towards. And I'm sitting here like, but y'all don't want to be real. How are you going to have that if you don't want to be real? If you don't want to be real, if you don't want to be sexy, you don't want to be sexual. Listen, if Mr. Kerry Pope had never seen a first picture of me that was cute and sexy, we would never be together. If he wasn't physically attracted to me, none of this would be here right now. Anyway, okay, y'all making me sweat. And I got to get back to work. I got clients. I'm coming on. Thank you, Sharonda. I'm coming on because I guess this has been building up for a little while. As you can tell. I love you guys. I want you to be happy. Set yourself free. Say, God, this is what you do. So for those of you who are saying how, this is what you do. Set yourself free. God, I know you have true love for me. And I know that that true love will be everything I need it to be. I take my hands off of it. Whatever he is that you have for me will be perfect for me. I don't have to strain or stress or worry or make the longest list imaginable because I'm missing out on that one little thing of prayer, that one little detail that I didn't include. Instead, with love, I'm telling you, take your hands off of it. Back off and say, your will be done, God, in my life. I'm attracting love, true love. And all of that sums it up. If you're going to really love somebody and have true love, you're going to be attracted to them. They're going to be compatible for you. God knows what you need. Take your hands off of it. Real talk, you don't even need somebody as deep as you think you do. That's not even a match for you. Because he's not going to be swinging you from the chandeliers and flipping it up the way you need it to be done. He's going to be over there trying to pray and you're going to be like, dang, I just wish he would just be more sexual. So stop faking and fronting and acting like what you think is supposed to be and get real. You don't want to get married and just end up divorced because you're not happy. What's the point? Get intentional about true love. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be perfect for you. It doesn't even matter what other people think. It does not matter. As long as you're in love and the two of you are happy, listen, man, I love waking up to Carrie. I love that I get to be married to my best friend, but it took me being honest about who I am, what kind of life do I want, and opening myself up to manifest love. Not manifest 6'2", not manifest the money, not manifest the car, not manifest the details and all that prerequisite list stuff that you think it has to be. Manifest love. All you've got to do is just, whenever you picture who you're going to be with and the man you're going to be with, just see yourself happy. See yourself in love. Don't make him a blur in your mind. That's what I began to do when I was single. I just made him a blur. Made him a blur. I didn't know what he was going to look like. I didn't know all those details, but I knew God had it for me. Do you hear me? God has it for you, but you've got to stop over analyzing and being so caught up and worrying and stressing and trying to make it happen and trying to not make it happen and just let go. God has it for you. He really does. So manifest, the visualization is love. See yourself happy. See yourself smiling at someone. See yourself holding someone's hand. See yourself fulfilled. And that's abundant life, because you in that vision is big. It's all of it. It's not even just love. Love is just one element of abundant life. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. I gotta go. I love you guys. I'm going to put this on YouTube. I know I'm overdue to put up a YouTube video. I love you guys. Y'all know I'm crazy though. So I don't even know why y'all, we need more real. That's all I'm saying. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.